Alright, Shalom. This is the ISUPK Wednesday law class. Also, remember to check out Commanding General Hannah's radio show, which is Monday 2 a.m. UK time. Also, Saturday we have classes in the UK Monday through Friday. We have live classes Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. till 9. 394 Lodge Road, B18 5PW. We have online classes Tuesday and Friday, 7 p.m. till 9. Also, you can ask questions in the class. If you got any questions, just type them in the chat and so forth. Today, we're going to go into Father's Day, being as the whole world's getting ready to celebrate it on Sunday, even though they don't really celebrate it, they're just diss men on that day. So we're going to go into a little bit about the history on that and so forth, and how black men is so disrespected in the earth. So we're going to start in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 28. And any questions, just type them in and we'll get to them.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 28. Observe and hear all these words which I command thee.
It says, observe and hear all these words which the Lord commands us. So the Lord commanded us certain things that we should stick by, that we should follow. And obviously, what the Lord commanded us, we've strayed away from it. So we've strayed away from it and decided to go do our own thing. And then our own thing has got us where in the position that we're in this day.
That's right.
In the ghettos, horrible conditions, dying from everything, enslaved under other nations. That's where disobedience got us. And we live in these very things that you get from disobeying the Lord. This is what we live in right now. The way that we live in right now is how you live when you disobey the Lord. Our surroundings, all of these things. All these things happen when you disobey the Lord. So we're in some horrible conditions. And the only way to get out of these conditions is to start obeying the Lord. And then we can return back to the position that we're supposed to be in. Go ahead.
That it may go well with thee.
That it may go well with thee. And obeying the Lord means it will go well with us. We will live a good life, nice life, everything will be just right, perfect. But once we disobey the Lord, our life becomes unbalanced. Why? Because the Lord ain't there to protect us. We then start doing what these heathens then start to prey on us, start taking us captives, doing whatever they want to us. Go ahead.
And with thy children after thee forever.
And with thy children after thee. So if we follow God's laws, our children would also follow them. Why? Because we would raise our children the right way. We would raise our children correct. We would raise our children to respect their mothers, to respect their fathers. But because we don't raise our children that way, they're disrespectful to their parents, they're disobedient, they run around with weapons and guns and all of these things. They take drugs, sell drugs, smoke drugs. They do all of these things. Why? Because they're not being raised right, man. And if we was raising our children right, they would follow how we raised them. Go ahead.
And with thy children after thee forever.
And with thy children after thee. So our children's children would be righteous, man. They would keep the laws of God and all of those things. Go ahead.
When thou doest that which is good and right in the sight of the Lord, thy God, Salakia, when the Lord thy God shall cut off the nations.
It says, when the Lord thy God shall cut off the nations. This is when it was in the land. And the nations was there for a time, but the time was going to come when there was going to be cut off and out of our land, man.
Right.
There was a time when we went into the land and you had African nations in the land. And they was there for a bit, and the time was going to come when they would have to get up out of the land, man.
Right.
But what happened? We started to want to follow their practices. They was in the land, and we started to want to spy on what they wanted to do, wanted to start joining their practices, wanting to do what they do. And then what happened? These same nations end up ruling over us, man. When we was told to not follow what they do. Go ahead.
From before thee, whither thou goest to possess them, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their land, take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them.
It says, make sure that we be not snared by following them. And following these nations is a trap. Following these nations, it is a trap, man.
That's right.
We ain't supposed to follow these nations. It's a snare unto us. Go ahead.
After that they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying,
And what?
that thou inquire not after their gods.
And we ain't supposed to inquire after their gods. So we ain't supposed to care about Christmas, Easter, birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day. We ain't supposed to inquire about what their practices are and how do you do them properly. We ain't supposed to inquire about their gods and how they serve their gods and their rituals and all of these things. We ain't supposed to inquire about it, man. You hear people saying, "Oh, you can never have too much knowledge. I want to learn about how other cultures and how other cultures serves their God." Listen, man. Once you start doing that, you're gonna start serving their gods. Now you can study it to cut them, yeah, you can do that. But you studying it to take part and all of those things, we ain't supposed to do that, man. We ain't supposed to study these other nations to want to take part in their practices and all of those things. Go ahead.
Saying, how did these nations serve their gods?
Saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Meaning, we're inquiring and we want to know how did they serve their gods? Meaning, we're taking interest. We ain't supposed to do that. We ain't supposed to take interest in how they serve their gods. Like, we ain't supposed to want to go to Mecca and bow down to a rock and see if it's beneficial. We don't need to go and do none of that garbage, man. Let the heathens do that. We ain't supposed to want to go to the Catholic Church wearing rosary beads and praying to Mary and all of them things. We ain't supposed to do that, man. Let them serve their God the way they want it, but we ain't supposed to inquire and be like, you know what? That seems good. I want to do that. That seems right. I want to do that. We ain't supposed to go and do them things. How they serve their gods ain't our business, man. It's nothing to do with us. Go ahead.
Even so,
what verse you at?
verse 30.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even so will I do likewise. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God.
And listen, man, we ain't supposed to do so. Go ahead.
For every abomination to the Lord which he hateth have they done unto their gods.
So now, them that serve their idols, every abomination that the Lord hates, that's what they do. And us trying to join the other nations and serve their gods, guess what that means? We doing abominations to the Lord, man.
That's right.
Us serving another God is an abomination, man.
Right.
We ain't supposed to serve no other gods. We have a God, a living God. They serve idols and statues, man. And the way they serve their idols and statues is an abomination to the Lord.
That's right.
And if we join them and do what they do, we become an abomination to the Lord. Go ahead.
For even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire.
And in serving their idols, they burnt their sons and daughters in the fire, man. They used to pass them to Molech and sacrifice their children and burn them up, man. And they believe, yeah, this is us serving God. We ain't supposed to want to do them practices, man. We ain't supposed to be trying to do what they do. They have no understanding, whereas we have understanding. Why? Because we have the living God with us, man.
Right.
We have understanding. We don't need to do what they do. We don't need to guess and gamble. With them, they have to guess and gamble. We don't need to guess and gamble, man. Our God is the living God, and what he wants us to do is documented, man. How he wants us to live is documented. Go ahead.
To their gods. What things soever I command you, observe to do it.
What things soever command you, observe to do it. And the Lord gave us commandments, and we must keep them commandments, man. It says, observe to do it. We must keep the Lord's commandments, because if we break them, then we're going to be further in hell like we are already. We're just going to be in a deeper hell than we are already. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not add thereto, nor diminish from it.
Thou shalt not add thereto, nor diminish from it, man. Don't be trying to add practices onto the Lord. Talking about, yeah, the Lord wants us to bow down to a rock. Don't be trying to diminish things from the Lord's law and all of these things, man. Don't add to it and neither don't diminish it, man. Don't be trying to add practices that you learn from the other nations. Listen, man. That's what Rastafarians do, man. They add onto the laws of God, man. They add East Indian culture and try and mix it with the Bible. Now, they'll tell you they believe in the Bible, but what they do is, where it says Jesus Christ, what do they do? Change it and say Selassie. Whereas Selassie is an African and is nowhere in the Bible, man. They put his name in the Bible. What do they do? Go to number 6. Oh, the Nazarite vow means you must have dreadlocks. They add to these records, man. And nowhere does it say that. Nowhere in the Bible does it say, keep your hair filthy, man. Nowhere in the Bible does it say, keep your hair filthy, and smoke weed, and this brings you closer to God. This gives you a higher understanding of God when you're high. Nowhere does it say that in the Bible, man. That's them adding to it. They will take one scripture and make something up and read the next scripture and have you believing, yeah, this is in the Bible. Listen, man. They will say to you, Moses and the burning bush, that was ganja and cannabis. Listen, man, that makes no sense. Because nowhere did Moses put anything from that bush to his mouth, man.
Right.
Nowhere did Moses take anything from that bush, pull it in a Rizla, roll it up and smoke it. It said there was a burning bush. The bush was on fire, man. It didn't say Moses smoked it. But they try and link the burning bush, and they say the burning bush is weed. Nah, man. That don't make no sense. These Rastas understand that them wild forest fires is not weed. But when it comes to the burning bush, they think that's talking about weed. It makes no sense, man. They say the burning bush is weed and Moses this and Moses that. Nowhere in the Bible does it say you can smoke, man. Nowhere in the Bible. And if the burning bush is weed, why are you smoking everything else, man? Why are you smoking tobacco and the Cali bud that you all like to smoke and the purple haze and all these weird names that they give it, man? Listen, man. Smoking is a sin, but according to the rest of the doctrine, it's allowed, and they like to add to the words of God and make you believe, yep, smoking's allowed. They like to make you believe that dreadlocks is in the Bible, whereas Samson's locks was braids. A lock is something that you can lock and unlock. That's what it's called, a lock. Now they call it dreadlocks, which they read the Bible, they seen the word locks, and they just named their thing something similar. So now people get it misconstrued and think, okay, well, theirs is called dreadlocks. Samson had locks. The two are the same. The two ain't the same, man. They just read the Bible, saw the word locks, and then called theirs dreadlocks, man. And then now people try and put them together and think the locks in the Bible is the locks that Rastafarians have today, when it's not the same thing. It's two different things. Go ahead.
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known.
And if someone has a dream, and they give a sign or wonder, and the sign or wonder comes to pass, and he says, let us go after other gods, go ahead.
And let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet.
Thou shalt what?
Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet.
So if a man shows you a sign and a wonder, and he's telling you to serve another God that you ain't known, you don't listen to that man. Don't follow that man.
Right.
Why? Because he's telling you lies, man. He's telling you to go away from your God.
That's
I don't care if the sign it showed you seems correct, if the wonder seems correct. If he's telling you to go serve another God, you don't follow that man.
That's right.
I don't care if I don't care what he prophesied to you, man. I don't care what he showed you. If that sign and wonder, if it comes to pass, what he tells you, go after another God, you don't follow him, man.
That's right.
Because that man is trying to get you to go against your God. He's trying to get you to serve some idol or something. Don't do that, man. And that's what tons of our people did. That's what tons of our people did. Imagine this. They listened to Marcus Garvey, and Marcus Garvey's like, yeah, Black King's gonna come from the east. And then he told them that. And then they saw, because Marcus Garvey read that in the Bible, and then they saw, Selassie comes from the east. And then he told them this is God. He got them to go after another God. They should have said, this man you're telling us to follow ain't in the Bible, man. They should have said, this man you're telling us to follow ain't in the Bible. He's not an Israelite. They should have cut Marcus Garvey off from that, man. From he said, this is your God, Selassie. They should have cut him off, man. From Bob Marley told them to worship Rastafari and this and that. They should have cut him off, man. These times, imagine this. Bob Marley's telling you, go worship Selassie and Rasta. And Bob Marley died a Catholic, man. Bob Marley died a Catholic, and what, a Catholic priest at his funeral. But they don't tell you that part, man. That's the part they don't tell you. They make you believe that he was a Rasta through and through. Whereas he didn't even believe it, man.
Right.
He was the face of Rastafarianism, because obviously he was a famous singer. But when it came down to it, secretly he was Catholic, man.
Right.
And he didn't even want Rastas over his funeral. He wanted Catholic priests holding crosses. He had Catholic priests holding crosses at his funeral, man. And he didn't even, and the Rastas that thought, yeah, this man is an advocate for Rastafari. Bob Marley didn't believe in no Rastafari, man. But he lied to you to get your money, to get you to buy his records. He had the dreads and made you believe he's like you, when really he was a Catholic, man. But what verse you at?
Verse 3.
Yeah, go ahead.
Salakia. For the Lord your God proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul. Ye shall walk after the Lord your God.
You shall walk after the Lord your God, man. That's what you should do. Don't try to serve somebody else's God. Walk after your own God. You have your own God, man, who ain't an idol, who ain't a statue, who you don't have to carry around and all of those things. You have your God, man. Go ahead.
And fear him.
And what?
And fear him.
You should walk after your own God and fear him. Go ahead.
And keep his commandments.
And keep his commandments, man. That's what we're supposed to do. Keep his commandments. Walk after our God and keep his commandments. And stop listening to these dreamer of dreams who tell you to go follow somebody else, who tell you to go and worship somebody else. They're false prophets, man. Go ahead.
And obey his voice, and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him. And the prophet or dreamer, or that dreamer of dreams, shall be put to death.
And what?
That dreamer of dreams shall be put to death.
And listen, man, tons of these pastors is going to have to get put to death. Why? Because they're leading our people astray.
That's right.
They're having us follow every pagan religion there is.
Right.
They're having us follow every philosophy and Mother's Day and Father's Day. They even do Mother's Day and Father's Day in the church and New Year's and all these things is them serving another God. Imagine this. These pastors act like they're the shepherds of black people, but they're leading black people astray, man. Imagine the sheep is looking for a shepherd, and this shepherd is leading them astray in all different religions, in all different philosophies, in the reggae church, the Baptist church, the Seventh-day Adventist church. We being led astray, man. And the time's coming when tons of these pastors have to be put to death, man, because they ain't shepherds for black people. They're dividing black people and leading them astray. What verse you at?
Verse 5.
Good.
Because you have spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God.
And this is what's going to happen to the ton of these pastors, man. They're gonna have to get put to death. Why? Because they're turning you away from your God. They're getting you to serve everything other than the Lord. They're getting you to follow all this nonsense that we ain't supposed to be following. Go up a verse. Read from verse 4 again.
Verse 4. Ye shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice.
And obey his voice, man. Don't obey anybody telling you to disobey the Lord, man. You obey the voice of the Lord and walk after his commandments. Go ahead.
And ye shall serve him.
And what?
And ye shall serve him.
And you serve him by your actions, man. You serve him by keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. What he tells you to do, that's what you do. Go ahead.
And cleave unto him.
And cleave unto him, man. What happens is, when people go through hard times, they like to disappear. That's not the way, man. You're meant to cleave unto the Lord in all things. I mean, the Lord can end your problems just like that. And then, I mean, most people go quiet, go silent, sit in the dark, don't want to do nothing. Listen, man, you're supposed to cleave unto the Lord, man. Good times, hard times, sad times, bad times. You cleave unto the Lord, man. You think, oh, I'm just going to go away and sort this out and come back. Don't work like that, man. You're meant to stay. And brothers will help you with your problems. Go ahead.
Shall be put to death.
And a ton of these pastors is going to be put to death because they're leading God's people astray, man. We're on the brink of World War III, and your pastors got us singing and dancing in church, man.
Right.
We're on the brink of World War III. Destruction's coming, food shortages, petrol prices through the roof. The whole world's about to collapse. All these nations going back and forth, ready to go to war with each other. And this pastor's got black people singing and dancing in the church, man. Ain't got them preparing, ain't got them getting ready, ain't got them being vigilant, but got them singing and dancing in the church. A ton of these pastors is going to have to get moved out of the way, man. Imagine this. The world's on the brink of World War III, and they're giving us all these pagan holidays to celebrate. Listen, man, time is short. Go ahead.
Because he have spoken to turn you away from the Lord.
And these pastors speak to turn you away from the Lord. Oh, his laws is done away with. His laws is done away with. That's what they teach us, man. His laws is done away with. We don't need to obey the Lord. We don't need to do none of these things. The law's done away with. We can do whatever we want. Listen, man, your pastor is turning you away from God, man. Your pastor is turning you away from God.
Right.
Your pastor teaches you to walk contrary to the Lord, man.
That's
Imagine the Lord that can save you from anything, man. They have you walking contrary to him. Go ahead.
which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage.
And the Lord redeemed you out of the house of bondage, man. He redeemed you out of the house of bondage. You think he can't redeem you from these situations that you're in right now? You was in worse situations in Egypt, man. And he redeemed you from that. He split the Red Sea, man. You're crying about what money and whatever you're crying about. The Lord can redeem you from any situation, man. He split the Red Sea. Whereas you didn't know the Red Sea could be split in half, man. You're crying about bills. Listen, man. The Lord can redeem you from any situation.
That's right.
Just trust in him. Go ahead.
To thrust thee out of the way which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in.
And
So
these pastors is thrusting you out of the way the Lord told you to walk in. Go ahead.
So shalt thou be put. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee.
Go ahead.
If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or the son or thy daughter.
We can drop that for time's sake now. Give me Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. First it says, how do you cling to God? By praying and trusting him. Right, by praying, trusting him, keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, doing what the Lord requires of you. So that's how you cleave to the Lord. Because once you disobey the Lord, you then walk contrary to him. So you then walk in opposition to him when you disobey him and do whatever you want. So we need to walk with him by doing what he requires us to do. And that's how you cleave to the Lord. And the Lord will save you from any trouble and all of those kind of things. Once we cleave to him, then you will see that even people that hate you have to be at peace with you. You'll see that people that hate you can't do nothing to you. Why? Because the Lord is with you. So yeah, we need to cleave to him.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not.
And that's what we do in the ISUPK, man. We know some of you can't wait to celebrate Father's Day and Mother's Day and Christmas and Easter, but we cry loud and spare not, man. We don't care that you want to celebrate birthdays and whatnot. We cry loud and we don't spare your feelings. We tell you the truth and we give you the history as well, man. We cry loud and spare not. Now, there's some people talking about, oh, Father's Day is hard for me because my father's not alive no more. Listen, man, if you didn't celebrate Father's Day, it wouldn't have to be that hard for you, man. If you realize Father's Day is just any day, it would be easier for you, man. People saying, oh, tomorrow, I'm sad tomorrow. Why? Because it's my mother's birthday and she's not here. Maybe if you didn't celebrate birthdays, man, tomorrow wouldn't be hard for you, man. You make life hard for yourself sometimes, celebrating these pagan days. And imagine this, having a birthday party for someone that's not even around no more, man. Oh, because you know it was grandma's birthday. It was grandma's birthday and we celebrate it every year. Listen, man, you're celebrating grandma's birthday, but grandma died about 10, 15 years ago, man. Listen, man, just let grandma rise again, man. You don't need to celebrate her birthday. You can keep her memory alive without having pagan things attached to it, man. But we like to attach pagan, we like to follow all these pagan traditions. Imagine this. You're not upset about your grandma any other day, only on her birthday it upsets you. Listen, man, don't do that, man. You don't phone your father no other day of the year, only on Father's Day you phone him. You phone him to swear at him and chastise him and tell him how much of a terrible father he is and all of those things. Go ahead.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and shew my people their transgressions and the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways.
Read that one more time.
Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways.
It says, yet they seek me daily and they like to know my ways. And listen, man, we give people the Lord's ways and they don't want them. We tell people the Lord's ways, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do. They act like they're seeking the Lord, but when we tell them what the Lord requires, they soon change their mind, man. People act like they want the Lord, but really they don't, man.
Right.
People act like they love the Lord, but really they don't. When really, we out here giving you the truth, giving you all these classes, giving you all of these things. They act like they seek the Lord, but secretly they ain't seeking the Lord, man.
Right.
Or if they did really want the Lord, they would know where to find him, man. They would listen to what we're saying. Hold on, let me go into. So let's get some history on Father's Day real quick, because I don't know why black people are. Imagine this: Father's Day is a Catholic holiday, And tons of you niggas ain't even Catholic. So why the hell are you celebrating it?
Right.
Mother's Day is a Catholic holiday. Hold on. Mother's Day is a Catholic holiday. And most of the niggas I know ain't Catholic. So we just want to jump on the bandwagon and celebrate everything. So let's get some history on Father's Day. Imagine this. They gave you Father's Day. Why? Well, not you, but they gave Father's Day because there was Mother's Day for Mary. And the men felt left out. They said, this is what they said. Let's give Mary's husband a day. They didn't even address the nigga by name. Imagine that. Oh, yeah. Let's just give him a day for because of Mary. Like they make out like what? They make out like Joseph, like Joseph came up on the back of Mary. They make out like Joseph wasn't his old man. Imagine this. There's no point you celebrating. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. And this whole world teaches you that Joseph ain't the father anyway. So imagine that. This whole world, listen, a man can't even get no honor. This world tells you that Joseph wasn't Jesus' father anyway. Imagine that. So what chance do you get, man? Joseph can't even get no credit, man.
Right.
Imagine that. This world gives Joseph no credit for being the father of Christ. They say, no, it's not Joseph's child. No, Joseph ain't the father. And you're celebrating Father's Day. And guess what? These women tell you ain't the father, man. Or not do the only tell you that they treat you like you ain't the father. Imagine this. You've got no say on what your child does and what your child don't do. The mother decides all of them things. All you're allowed is an opinion. And she don't listen to your opinion if she don't like it. Listen, man, you're not even allowed to be a father. The only place you're allowed to be a father is in the ISUPK. Why? Because we have our women in order.
That's right.
Hold on. Let me just share the screen. Hold on. All right, now it was called St. Joseph's Day. Hold on. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, this one. All right then. So now we're gonna go into the history of it. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. So Father's Day. Hold on. All right, so now let's read some of this article. Says this article is about the celebrate. Hold on. Father's Day is a holiday honoring fatherhood and paternal bonds, as well as the influence of fathers in society. Listen, man. If Father's Day is about influence of fathers in society, why do I have to see men a trash post on Father's Day, man? On Father's Day, why do I have to see Happy Father's Day, Mom? Every Father's Day you see post, Happy Father's Day, Mom. I've seen one post saying we celebrate real men on this day. We'll celebrate you fool fathers on April Fool's Day. I was like, well, damn. Listen, man, a man can't get no respect. Imagine this is meant to be a day for you. Not that we care about it, but this is meant to be a day for you. And on the day for you, you can't even get no respect and no peace and quiet on this so-called day for you. The so-called day for you, you can't get no respect or nothing. Hold on, let's read on. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right, it says fatherhood and paternal bonds, as well as the influence of fathers in society. In Catholic countries of Europe, it has been celebrated on March 19th as St. Joseph's Day since the Middle Ages. As St. Joseph's Day, and guess what? They only gave them this day to appease men Because men was heard that they had Mother's Day because of Mary. They called it Mothering Sunday, where they would take their grandmother, their mother to church and all these things, which ties in with Lent and Pancake Day. All of these go hand in hand. Lent, Pancake Day, Mothering Sunday, where they'll take their mothers to church on Sunday. All these things go hand in hand. And then, or afterwards, years after that, they said, you know what? Let's do something for St. Joseph's Day. And they called it Father's Day. But if you look at how this Catholics and this world looks at Joseph, they look at him like he's nothing, man. They look at him like, yeah, he's not the father of Christ. Mary's the big thing. Imagine this. In that religion of Catholics, Mary is near enough of God. They have to pray to Mary with these rosary beads, Mother Mary, Hail Mary, all of these things. That's what they do. They praise Mary. All of these things, man. So it's fatherhood and paternal bonds, as well as the influence of fathers in society. In Catholic countries of Europe, it has been celebrated on March 19th as St. Joseph's Day since the Middle Ages. Listen, man, black man, you ain't been getting no respect since the Middle Ages, man. You ain't been getting no respect since the Middle Ages. What makes you think you're going to start getting some respect now? So it says, in the United States, Father's Day was founded by Sonora Smart Dodd and celebrated on the third Sunday of June. For the first time in 1910, the day is held on various dates across the world, and different regions maintain their own traditions of honoring fatherhood. Says Father's Day is a recognized public holiday in Lithuania and some parts of Spain, and was regarded as such in Italy until 1977. It is a national holiday in Estonia, Samoa, and equivalently in South Korea. All these places where none of you niggas dwell, man. Listen, man. None of you dwell there, and you're just disrespected on this day. It's not no national holiday for you. Right. Ain't no day of peace for you. Ain't no one bringing you breakfast in bed on that day. Right. Listen, man. Everyone's looking down on you, saying you're a terrible man, poor excuse for a man, a terrible father. That's what they say about you, man. Right. Says where it is celebrated as Parents' Day, the holiday complements similar celebrations honoring family members, such as Mother's Day, Siblings' Day, and Grandparents' Day. So now they worship Joseph on that day. Hold on, let me scroll down. Is there any more? Yeah, this is all the places where they celebrate it. Hold on. It says for centuries, the Eastern Orthodox Church has appointed the second Sunday before Nativity as the Sunday of the forefathers to commemorate the ancestors of Christ according to the flesh, starting with Adam and emphasizing the patriarch Abraham, to whom God said. So now they're trying to link it. See? So now they're trying to link it to the Bible, therefore adding on to what God said, because God never said, nowhere in the Bible did God say worship Abraham. Nowhere in the Bible did God say worship Joseph. Nor in the Bible did God say worship Mary. But this world likes to worship people, man, especially the Catholics. So they have you celebrating a Catholic holiday, and most people don't know that these things come from Catholicism. They don't know that these things is all Catholic holidays. And if you know anything about the Catholic Church, there's so much idols in there, man. There's idols all around the Catholic Church. Go to it. Listen, man. Go look at a Catholic church on the internet. There's idols everywhere. Go look at the one in go look at the one in Vatican City. All idols everywhere, man. Idols all outside it. Idols all inside it. There's idols all over, man. The Pope and them worship idols and kiss and pray to idols. And that's what they're getting you to do, man. They're getting you to celebrate pagan things that you're not supposed to celebrate. It says, in thy seed shall all of the nations of the earth be blessed. Yeah, the Bible says that. But what does that... Now, because of that, why do you need to worship Abraham or any of them? Nowhere in the Bible did it say worship them. It says this feast can fall between December 11th and 17th. This feast includes the ancestors of the Mary, mother of Jesus, and various prophets. See, it calls Mary the mother of Jesus, but nowhere do they want to call Joseph the father of Christ, man. Because they make out like a black man can't, they make out like a black man can't get no honor, no respect, so much that this whole world lies and says Joseph's not the father, because they don't want to give him his credit, man. They don't want to give him his respect, and they want to worship women. So it's a customary day for the celebration of fatherhood in Catholic Europe is known to date back to at least 1508. It is usually celebrated on March 19th as the feast day of Saint Joseph, who is referred to as the fatherly nutritor, domini, nourisher of the Lord. Imagine that. They called him the nourisher of the Lord, but not the father. They called him the nourisher. Imagine that, man. Listen, man. Basically they're saying he's the stepdad that took care of Christ. They didn't call him the father of Christ, they called him his nourisher. Listen, man. Exactly, and that's what women want today. They don't want you to be a father to these children. They want you to be a nourisher. When you want a nourisher, what do? You put them in child support, man. Right. You don't want him to be the father. You just want him to be the nourisher. That's right. You want this man to spend his paycheck on a child that he has no say on what this child does. Imagine this. You teach this child to disobey the father, but then you want the father's money. Listen, man, a man should be able to say, my daughter's not going out dressed like that. And the mother of the child should say, you know what? You are the father. We're going to agree with you because you are a man and you're allowed to make the decisions. What do they say? No, she's allowed to dress how I want her to dress. Imagine this. The kind of woman you don't want your daughter to become, the mother makes your daughter become that woman, man. Imagine this. The woman you don't want your daughter to become, because your baby mama hates you so much, she raises your daughter to become that woman that you don't want your daughter to become. And then what happens? That creates friction between you and your child, man. And the mother's in the middle, and she's doing all of these things. She's over-sexualizing your daughter, and she's making out, oh yeah, your dad's just old-fashioned. Your dad's just old-fashioned. Dress how you want to dress. Feel sexy in your skin. That's what the mother's teaching the daughter at home. Meanwhile, the father's saying, cover yourself up because men will look at you like you're a whore. The mother's saying, oh, don't worry, man. These men, get money off them, do this. Use these men, get money off them. Have a sugar daddy, all of these things. And these things hurt the father, man. Because he don't want his daughter to become that woman. And because of the mother, she hates the father. So she turns the children against that man and makes the daughter be what the dad don't want his daughter to be, man. Puts him on child support. And then that creates a wedge between the father and child, man. And this happens every single time. Let's read on. So Saint Joseph, who's referred to as the fatherly nutrition domini, nourisher of the Lord, in Catholicism and the putative father of Jesus in Southern European tradition, this celebration was brought to the Americas by the Spanish and Portuguese. And these practices was brought to us by these same people, man. By the Spanish, the Portuguese, and the British. Because we're following their customs, we're following their culture, all of their things. All of these things was brought to us by them, because we following these other nations when we're not supposed to. We already covered that in Deuteronomy, the 12th chapter, not to follow these other nations. Go ahead. It was brought to the Americas by the Spanish and Portuguese. It says the Catholic Church actively supported the custom of a celebration of fatherhood on St. Joseph's Day from either the last years of the 14th century or from the early 15th century. Apparently on the initiative of the Franciscans. In the Coptic Orthodox Church, the celebration of fatherhood is also observed on St. Joseph's Day. Hold on. On St. Joseph's Day, but the Copts observe this on July 20th. The Coptic celebration may date back to the 5th century. So you need to do the research on where all these things coming from. There's different timelines of them celebrating these pagan holidays, man. It says whether to celebrate this day worldwide or not remained a debatable topic in 1908. Grace Golden Clayton proposed the day to honor those men who had lost their lives in a mining accident in the US. So now people changed the meaning of it. Some wanted to honor men that lost their life in a mining accident in the US. Though it was not accepted then in 1909, Sonora Smart Dodd, who along with her 5 brothers was raised by her father alone, after attending Mother's Day in the church, convinced the Spokane Ministry Association to celebrate Father's Day worldwide. So now, she convinced them to celebrate Father's Day worldwide. Why? Because she was raised by her father, and she didn't think it was fair that they only celebrated Mother's Day and not a Father's Day. So she pushed to get a Father's Day. It says, in addition to Father's Day, International Men's Day is celebrated in many countries on November 19 in honor of both men and boys. And listen, man, this world don't honor black men and black boys. Not one bit. Hold on, let's scroll down. So it says the following is a list of when Father's Day is celebrated in order of date and observance. So Belarus celebrate it, Mongolia, Andorra, Bolivia, Italy, all these countries. So all these countries, this is the days that they celebrate it. And England's getting ready to celebrate it. Is it June? What's the date today? I know it's June. What day? What day does this Sunday land on? Because they're getting ready to celebrate it on Sunday. So Austria, Belgium celebrated theirs June 20th. Hold on. England's getting ready to celebrate theirs. Let's see what day England's celebrating theirs. Damn, they celebrate Father's Day in Jamaica. Damn. Damn.
Do they?
That's what I'm saying. Do they? The matter. Listen, man. I don't think this. I think that this black men in Jamaica on Father's Day. That's their celebration. Women being able to run their mouth about black men. That's. Hold on. Let me see where the United Kingdom is on here. Unless I pressed it. Yeah, I probably pressed it. But yeah, England's getting ready to celebrate their Sunday. See, they even celebrating in Algeria. They even celebrating in Egypt, which shows you that what it says. These things was brought by the Spanish and the Portuguese. So if these things was brought by the Spanish and the Portuguese, imagine the celebrating this in Egypt. Hold on. In why did you keep doing that? In Egypt, in Kenya, Morocco, Mozambique, Nigeria, Seychelles, South Africa, South Sudan, Bangladesh. Damn. So now all these countries they celebrating Father's Day. Why? Because all these nations have the mark of the beast. All these nations have the mark of the beast. That's why they all following after their oppressor. That's right. The oppressor sets his rules and all of these things, and everybody follows them. Why? Because this world follows after this man, and this man has the mark of the beast, and he gives it to all nations, man. All nations follow after this beast and follow his philosophies, and that's why this whole earth is celebrating Mother's Day and all that garbage. That's right. And Father's Day and all that nonsense. So that's a quick history on Father's Day. Whereas Father's Day it's a Catholic holiday, man. Nothing to do with us. It's for Catholics, and you ain't Catholic, man. So we ain't supposed to be following it. Give me Isaiah chapter 52 and verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 52
and verse 1.
52 and verse 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion.
Do what?
Put on thy strength, O Zion.
Says awake, awake, put on thy strength. And our strength is what? Our culture, man. Our laws. That's our strength. Our strength ain't putting on Father's Day and Mother's Day and celebrating these customs and going to church every Sunday and worshiping idols. That's not our strength, man. What you'll find is these things make us weak. What you'll find is our culture, our laws. This is our strength, man. Because then the Lord will be with us. We should put on our strength because we've took off our strength. And we've taken our strength and we've put on the weakness of the other nations, man. We've took off our garments and we've put on theirs, man. Right. We've tried to hide and be like them, and then we no longer be us. Whereas we need to be us and let them be them. That's right. Says awake, awake. Why? Because we're asleep right now, man. Right. We're asleep in these religions, these philosophies in the Christian church. We need to awake, awake, and put on our beautiful garments. That's right. Put on our culture and all of these things. What we've done, took it off for too long. Go ahead.
Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem.
Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem. That's us, man. We need to put on our beautiful garments. Go ahead.
The holy city.
And we're the holy city, man. But now, how can we be holy means separate? How can we be separate when we're trying to be Christians, man?
Right.
When we're trying to celebrate Father's Day and Mother's Day, what's supposed to set us apart is our culture, our laws, our statutes. Meanwhile, the rest of the world goes left. We supposed to go right, man. That's what's supposed to set us apart. We ain't set apart if we going left with the rest of the world. Right. We ain't set apart if we going in the Catholic Church and the Christian church with the rest of the world. That's not setting us apart, man. What sets us apart is us putting on our culture, our laws, statutes. People are supposed to see us and be like, wow, damn, these people are different. They don't celebrate birthdays. They don't celebrate Mother's Day. They don't celebrate Father's Day. They celebrate stuff that we've never heard of. They celebrate the Feast of First Fruits, the Passover. They're supposed to see us and be like, what is it usually like celebrate? Listen, man, they're supposed to be like, what is it usually like celebrate? We ain't seen this before. What does it mean? We ain't supposed to be celebrating Mother's Day and Father's Day and all of that garbage.
Right.
Go ahead.
For henceforth there shall no more crime, Salakia, there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised.
That's hold on, what verse? Yeah, go ahead.
The uncircumcised and the unclean.
Go ahead.
Shake thyself from the dust.
And we need to shake ourselves from the dust, man. We need to shake ourselves from these filthy religions, man. We need to get out of these religions and get clean, man.
That's right.
All of that is dust. What we was in, we need to get a part of that, man. Shake ourselves from that dust and put on our beautiful garments, man, meaning our culture. All these other nations' customs and culture is dust, man. It's no good. It's foolishness. We need to shake off that dust and get up from following the nonsense, because it just hurts us in the end, man.
Right.
Imagine this. We live our whole life as Christians and think, yeah, I'm living a good life. And when I die, I'm going to heaven, not realizing you've been bamboozled your whole life, man. Not realizing you're meant to be right here, man. Imagine this. You're waiting till you die to enjoy life, man. Whereas you can come and live and enjoy it right now, man. You're thinking, oh, I'm gonna eat pork until Christ comes in. One day, Christ is just gonna come and everything's gonna fall in place. People think that they're gonna be sinners, they're gonna live how they want, and Christ is gonna come, and then when Christ comes, he's just gonna wave some magic wand on you, and you're gonna become righteous. It don't work like that, man. You need to be rehearsing the righteous acts now. So when Christ comes, you're already in order. People think, okay, we're waiting for Christ to come, then we're gonna get in order. Doesn't work like that, man. If you ain't in order by the time he comes, he's coming back with his sword and them angels, man.
Right.
And you're going to be gone. You're going to be gone, man. Tons of Christians is going to be surprised. They're going to be the ones saying, Lord, Lord, we prophesied in your name, man. That's what they're going to be saying. He's going to say, I never knew you. You're going to be there saying, but I spoke about you every week on Sunday church. I got gang members to put the guns down and pick up the piano. I got gang members to put guns down, knives down, and play with guitars instead. You're going to say we prophesied in your name, and in your name, I made them put down guns and pick up guitars. And Christ is going to say, I never knew you, man. Listen, man, you don't want to be that person on the other end hearing that he never knew you. I suggest you come home, man. I suggest you come home to the ISUPK. That's what I would do. Go ahead.
Shake thyself from the dust. Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck.
Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, man. Go ahead.
O captive daughter of Zion.
Go ahead. And listen, we captives, man. We captives. Go ahead. And there's that saying that people like, what? When in Rome, do what the Romans do. Nah, man. When in Rome, don't do what the Romans do, man.
Right.
Listen, man. Paul wrote a letter to what the brothers in Rome should be doing, man. And in that letter, Paul did not say to them, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. Paul told them, you better keep them laws, man. Paul told them, do this, do A, B, C, D, do this. He didn't say, yeah, when you're in Rome, do what the Romans do. Because if you're going to say, when in Rome, do what the Romans do, that means you're going to be a homosexual, you're going to be a drug addict, you're going to be an alcoholic, you're going to be a disgusting sinner, man, when you ain't supposed to be those things. Go ahead.
Ye have sold yourselves for naught.
Go ahead.
And ye shall be redeemed without money.
Go ahead. What verse you at now?
Verse 4.
Yeah, that was it that I wanted to give me. Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. So now we're in the book of Romans. Hold on, let me get there.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
And when you're in Rome, don't do what the Romans do. Read that one more time.
And be not conformed to this world.
He said, be not conformed to this world in the book of Romans, man. So people saying, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. We're reading in the book of Romans, what did Paul say?
Be not conformed to this world.
Paul didn't say, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. Paul said, be not conformed to this world. Meaning, don't do what the Romans do, man.
Right.
These people right here was in Rome, and this is why this book is called Romans, man.
Right. Right.
Don't do what the Romans do. That saying right there is foolishness. That saying right there is what someone in the world will tell you,
Right.
who's too weak to fight addiction, who's too weak to fight trials and tribulations. They will just bend over and give in, man. That's what they'll do. They'll roll over and say, you know what, I'm in Rome and I can't fight this. I'm going to do what the Romans do. Whereas Paul said, what? Read that one more time.
Be not conformed to this world.
Paul said, be not conformed to this world, man. Meaning, don't be how the people are. Don't be how these Romans are. Don't be how these oppressors are. Be not conformed to this world. And being conformed to this world means what? You have to celebrate Pride Month. You have to go dye your hair rainbow colors. Listen, I seen a man in the gym with he had burgundy hair, man. I believe he's a transgender. I don't know. He had burgundy hair, and I was looking like, damn. There was a time where you would never see these creatures around, man. There's a time where you would never see these things, and now these things is coming out in the open, man. And they're not ashamed. They're out in the open. This thing, yeah, had burgundy hair, tight shorts on, and listen, man, it's disgusting. These transgenders is coming out the woodworks, man. And that's why Paul said, be not conformed to this world, because that's what this world's trying to push. This world is trying to teach you that what? A woman can change to a man can change to a woman. You can be genderless. That's what this world's trying to push. You can be genderless. There's no way you can be genderless, man. According to science and DNA and biology, there's a girl has an XX chromosome, a man has an XY. And if you got an XX, you're a female. If you got XY, you're a male, man. That's how it works. Now, you can't survive without them, man. You're one or the other, you're a male or a female, man. You're a male or a female, man. Don't let nobody lie to you or you can change your gender. You can't change your chromosomes, man. Maybe you can change the way you look. Maybe you can have sex changes, but guess what? Whatever you was born, that's what you're always going to be. I don't care how much fake breasts you put in your chest, man. If you're a man, you're always going to be a man. You're just a man with fake breasts, man. You're never going to be a woman. You're just a confused man with fake breasts. You can't change your chromosomes, man. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. But when you conform to this world, you will go and change your sex. Oh, I'm not happy with the body that I'm in. I'm not happy with the body that I'm in. Listen, man, these transgenders have the sex change and still ain't happy, man. You're never going to be happy until you get rid of that demon, man. It's that demon in your head making you believe you need a sex change when maybe you just need to get rid of that demon, man. Maybe you need to change that demon, get that demon gone. That's what you need to do. Maybe you need to change your life and get that demon gone. Because where does it stop? You have your sex change, and then you start doing what? You're on all these drugs. You take more drugs. And what you'll find is most homosexuals and lesbians suffer from depression, man. So they make out like they're so happy and they're so strong and girl power, this and that. And really, they're depressed, man. Really, they're depressed and they hate their life. Listen, man, don't let them fool you making out they're happy, because really they ain't happy. Read on.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
It says be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It didn't say transform your sex. It didn't say transform your genitals. It didn't say transform your body into the opposite sex. It says be transformed by the renewing of your mind, man. If your mind's telling you you're born in the wrong body, you better transform your mind, man, and say, nah, man, I was born in the right body. That's it. You better tell yourself, man. Paul didn't say when in Rome, do what the Romans do. Go ahead.
That you may prove what is good.
That you may prove what is good. Go ahead.
And acceptable and perfect.
And acceptable and perfect will of God, man. And the will of God is what? That you may not conform to this world, and that you keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, and walk after his ways, man.
Right.
Drop that. Give me a 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 15.
Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 15. Therefore, brethren, stand fast and hold the traditions which ye have been taught.
Do what?
Hold the traditions which ye have been taught.
And stand fast and hold the traditions which you have been taught.
Right.
The traditions you wasn't taught. You wasn't taught Father's Day, man.
That's right.
You wasn't taught Mother's Day. You wasn't taught Christmas and Easter. You wasn't taught none of that, man. hold on to the traditions, man. And in the ISUPK, we hold on to all these traditions, man. From Christ and down, man. We hold on to all these traditions, man. We still keep these traditions that we've been taught from Christ down to Paul, all the way down to Commanding General Yohana, man. We hold them traditions tight, whereas everybody else has let them traditions go. And it shows, man. It shows that everybody else has let them traditions go. We hold them tight so much that people see us to say, oh, you lot are too militant, you lot are too rough, or you lot are too old school with the Bible. Surely it's updated now. No, we hold on to the traditions which we've been taught, man. Go ahead.
Whether by word or our epistle.
Whether by word or by our epistle, and we hold on to it by word and by epistle, man. We hold on to it by word and letter and so forth, man. These records, we follow these records. We don't water nothing down. We don't say, well, times has changed now, so we're not going to follow this no more. Well, times has changed now, we're not going to do this no more. We don't do that, man. We hold on to it by word and epistle. Go ahead.
Now our Lord Jesus Christ himself and God, even our Father, which have loved us and have given us everlasting consolation and good hope through grace,
Go ahead.
comfort your hearts and establish you in every good word and work.
And that's what we need, good word and work, man. That's what we need, good word and good works. And your work ain't good if you're straying from the traditions you was taught, man. Your work ain't good if you're out there celebrating Father's Day, talking about, well, this is the one day in the year that I get celebrated. Let me celebrate Father's. Listen, man, Father's Day is a slap in the face to black men, man.
Right.
Because you don't even get no say in your child's life.
That's right.
This woman, in her mind, she's the mother and father. You only get to see the child when she wants to go party and dance on the next man. Whenever she wants to go to the club and dance on the next man, that's the only time you get to see your child, man. When she wants a babysitter. Outside of that, you have no say. You could be like, I don't want my daughter to have weave in her head. If the mom wants her to put weave in, guess what the mom's going to do? Put weave in. If the mom wants your daughter to put on makeup, guess what she's going to do? Allow your daughter to put on makeup, man. Only sisters in the ISUPK actually listen to men, actually listen to their man and understand he's the head. Everywhere else, a black man, outside of this building, a black man gets no respect. You can cry your eyes out, man. Listen, hold on. Let me see if I can find that video. Tell her that speaker. Let me see if we can get there. Hold on. Listen, this is you, man. This right here is you, man. You celebrate Father's Day, but this is you every other day of the year. Every other day of the year, this is you, man. Let me show you. This is your face every other day of the year, man. Every other day of the year, this is you. Let's play it.
This is all I got. This is all I got. Don't take my baby, okay? I've been away from my baby for 2 months. I just want my baby. And no one's listening because no one's in the courtroom. I'm not doing anything illegal. But I don't want nobody. Oh my God, am I doing something illegal by doing this video, or am I protected by the First Right Amendment or the amendment? Don't take my baby. I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? Oh my God. Oh.
Listen, man, that is you. Listen, this face is you every other day, man. This is you. And this woman has all the power, man. This woman decides whether you cry or don't cry. She has all that power over you, man. Listen, man, this man said, I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? Like he's defeated, man. Listen. Father's Day is a slap in the face to black men, man. A black man can't even have control over his child. He has to go to court. Like he said, I'm doing nothing illegal. He's not dangerous. Imagine this. Kanye West weren't even allowed to. They didn't even want him at his daughter's birthday party, man. Now, we don't celebrate birthdays, but I'm using that as an example. Imagine that. They didn't even tell Kanye West the location of his daughter's birthday party. Listen, man, a black man has no say, man. And this is why they have to come to the internet and do videos like this, because they have no strength. You come in the ISUPK, you will get strength, man. You won't have to do one of these crying videos on the internet. Let me play this video one more time. This is you every other day. You're getting ready to celebrate Father's Day on Sunday, but really outside of Sunday, this is you every other day. When you want to see your children, this is you.
This is all I got. This is all I got. Don't take my baby, okay? I've been away from my baby for 2 months. I just want my baby. And no one's listening because no one's in the courtroom. I'm not doing anything illegal.
He said no one's listening. Welcome to being a black man, Tyrese, man. No matter how rich you are, welcome to being a black man.
That's right.
And now he realizes he's a black man, man. Even though this video is kind of old. It came and cried. Listen, man. If you got any issues, please don't come on the internet and cry.
Right.
You seek counsel. You phone your camp leader. Don't come on the internet and cry. Your nose running. Tears running out your eyes and you're crying on the internet. Listen, man, have a backbone, man. Have a backbone, man. Have some dignity, man. Don't let that woman see you broken, man. Imagine the woman that's not letting him see the child. She must have felt like I've got the victory. This man's crying on the internet. I know how to hurt him. Listen, man. He should have almost acted like it don't bother him, man. Act like it don't bother you, man. Don't cry on camera for the world to see, and for that woman to see, and for her and her friends to laugh at. Yeah, did you see your baby father? And they're all laughing at you. Don't give them that satisfaction, man.
I'm not doing anything illegal, but I don't want nobody. Oh my God, am I doing something illegal by doing this video, or am I protected by the First Right Amendment or the amendment? Don't take my baby. I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me?
He said, what more do you want from me? Listen, man. Don't show no woman your weakness, man. I'm at $13,000 a month. Listen, man, he sounded defeated. Listen, man. I think Tyrese should just get in class, man.
Right.
Get in class. Grow your beard back and be a man. Listen, man. The Zondervan says a beard is a manly badge of honor, man. I see why he's crying. I mean, if I had no beard, I'd cry like that as well.
Right.
Imagine that. You grow your beard back, Tyrese, and get a backbone, man. Learn how to be strong, man. You cried and said, what does she want? What more does she want from me? Let me play that one more time.
What do you want from me? $1,000 a month. What more do you want? Don't take my baby. I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? Oh my God. Oh.
Listen, man. That's your Father's Day, man. That's your Father's Day. You're getting ready to celebrate Father's Day.
Charles. Hey, Charles, let me talk to you. I'm talking with Charles Rand.
Listen, that's your Father's Day, man. That right there. You're getting ready to celebrate Father's Day. Listen, man. She has all the power she has, man. And she has you crying on the internet, man. And now you're getting ready to celebrate Father's Day. Oh, my kids is coming around. Listen, man, they're your kids, but it's like they're not your kids because you don't have no say. You can't decide, I don't want my child eating pork. The mom's going to give the child pork, man. As soon as you do something the mom don't like, she's taking that child away from you, man. It's your child, but in this world, a man has no say. Father's Day, quote unquote, the child's not your child, so lucky, quote unquote. The child's your child, but when it comes to decision making, the mother doesn't allow you to make decisions. How do you get that power? You have to get a good woman that gives you the power, man. She has to give you the power. And Tyrese didn't have a good woman and she didn't give him the power, man. trying to force that power. They have to give it to you, man. They have to say, you know what? You're a man that makes wise decisions, and you're the head of the house, and what you say goes. That's what they need to say. But obviously, they're not going to let that happen nowadays. A woman in the world, anyway, she's going to decide, nope, my child's having a birthday party. Nope, my child's celebrating Christmas. Nope, I'm not listening to you. My child's doing this. My child's doing that. Whereas when the mother wants to take the child on holiday, she don't need to consult you. She can just up with the passport and go. When you want to take the child on holiday, you have to consult the mother, and the mother can say no. The mother refuses to give you a birth certificate. This is why whenever you have a child, especially you get 2 birth certificates. Because when you say, can I have my child's birth certificate? The mother acts like it's her birth certificate. No, what do you need the birth certificate for? Why do you want the birth certificate for? No, I'm not giving. Like it's not your child, man. And then now you want to celebrate Father's Day on Sunday. Listen, man, you don't get no privileges to these child, no other day of the year. Where was we? Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3.
It's 1 Corinthians. Say 11 and verse.
Yeah, 11 and verse 3.
First Corinthians.
So in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. Well, I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So have you know the head of every man is Christ. So this is giving you the structure. This is giving you the order. And this order, people don't like to follow this order. People like to say, yo, God teaches me. I speak directly to God. There's an order, man. There's an order of things. The Godhead and God has order, man. And there's order with us. Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the what?
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. And your house is going to be out of order if you don't let that man lead, man. Because you ain't letting that head lead. This is why children don't fear the mother. This is why you beat them 1,000 times and scream and shout. And the child's not afraid of you. Whereas with the father just comes and he don't need to shout. He just says, don't do that. And the child's petrified, man. Because there's an order, man. That man is there for a reason. But once you kick that man out of the house, the whole house becomes out of order. Because them children you ain't got no head. I mean, you ain't got no head. And them children don't look at you as you're in charge of them, man. So everybody then becomes on the same level. Whereas that order is there for a reason, man. The man and woman ain't the same, man. The man is the head of the woman. And then this unit is supposed to work together. This unit, this power structure is supposed to work together. The man's supposed to be the head of the woman. Now, does this mean the man just abuses the woman? No, it don't, man. You're supposed to love one another and work together. And obviously, of course, you can have an opinion and you can be like, I think we should do this. And the man will hear it out. And if it makes sense, he'll be like, you know what? That's a good idea. This don't mean the man just dominates the wife and she can't say nothing there. Like in Islam, they beat their wife and they just beat her because the board. They just beat her because, it's fun to beat a woman to them. In their religion, their religion hates women. Their religion hates women. Whereas with us, we love women, man. We love our sisters. And there's an order. And the man is the head of that household, man. The man is the head of that family unit. I read that one more time.
Well, I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
I'd have you know that the head of every man is Christ. So there's an order, man. Go ahead. Christ is the head of every man. Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. And that man, if you don't have a husband, that man would be your father. You don't have a father, be your next of kin. If you're in the truth, you'll be your camp leader, so forth. So the head of the woman is the man. And give that black man some respect, man. Don't just respect him once a year on Father's Day. Don't disrespect him on Father's Day.
Right.
Just don't celebrate Father's Day. Just understand you respect this man all year round, man. Don't give him respect on one day. What's respect on one day? Respect on one day don't mean nothing, man.
Right.
You're gonna respect me one day. I see women say, "Oh, big up to my father, big up to my baby father." Listen, man. Only our women talk like that, man. Listen, you don't hear the Arab woman having a baby father. They got that husband, man. You don't hear Chinese people having a baby father. Only we take these terms and make it seem cool. Whereas that being my baby father and baby mother, these terms ain't cool, man. These terms ain't cool. We supposed to stay together, man. We supposed to be together. Oh yeah, him. Oh yeah. Women say, "Oh him, yeah, that's my baby father," but we don't talk. No other culture lives like that, man. They understand, stay together. But with us, because we don't follow the laws in the Bible and we ain't following the manual which is gonna fix our life, we've gone astray. So we try and work things out by ourselves. I mean, it's like you ordering something that needs putting up. If you don't follow the manual, you might put the thing up back to front, man. We ain't followed the manual, and our life is now back to front, man. Now the woman's ruling over the man, the children's ruling over the woman, the children's telling the mother what they're gonna do and what they're not gonna do. The woman's telling the man, pack your bags and don't come back. We ain't following the manual, man. Like I said, it's like if you're building something and you have a manual and you put one of the screws in the wrong place, the whole unit's gonna come down, man. Because you've used the wrong screw where the screw wasn't supposed to go there, it was supposed to go there. How do I know I put up a TV stand and put one of the screws in the wrong place? That's how I know. You follow the manual. And life has a manual, man. And the manual to life is the Bible, man. You don't follow the manual, you're going to do something wrong, man. And you're going to regret it. And our life is full of regrets. Why? Because we ain't following the manual. This man ain't getting no respect. This man ain't allowed to be the head of the house. I read that one more time.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ. Go ahead.
And the head of every woman is the man.
And the head of every woman is the man. So there's a structure. The man and the woman is supposed to work together, but this man makes the final decision, man. You obey this man. And this man, if it's your husband, he becomes your head what? Because you've opened your legs to him, man. You listen, man. You gave yourself over to him. At least follow his orders now that you gave yourself over to him, man. Because this man becomes your head. So this is why it's very important that what? You ain't having sex with a man that you don't see a future with, or you don't want to listen to, or you don't want to obey. Why? Because once you give yourself to that man, he then becomes your head. If you know this man makes terrible decisions and is a terrible man and is not a good man and is a horrible person, don't open your legs to him, man.
Right.
Because if you do, this man becomes your head. So this is why it's very important to follow the rules and whatnot and know what kind of man you're with. Because you get one shot at it. So you need to know what kind of man you're with. Is this a man that's for you? Are you and this man compatible? Because what happens with us is we realize after having sex, we realize we're not compatible. We realize no, not for me. We realize no, I can't see this lasting longer than a month or two. So that's why in the UPK there's a 6-month rule. 6-month rule, and in that time you'll know if you like someone, or if you just fancied them or whatever, or if the feelings have worn off, or if this person is not for you. Because usually when you speak to someone, the more you speak to them, you kind of like based on what they say, you kind of can gauge them, you can kind of work them out over time as well. Imagine speaking to someone for 6 months. You should know everything you need to know about them. You should know how they think. You should know their mind state. And then you have the choice to say, nah, this ain't for me. I'm going to end the courtship. I'm going to leave it there. So always take your time, man. Because if you're meant to be, you're going to be together in the end anyway. So most things, you kind of don't need to rush. But I read that one more time.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ. Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the what?
The woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. So there's an order with everything. Go ahead.
And the head of Christ is God.
And the head of Christ is God. Hold on, we got some scammer in the block this user. There you go. Sending some pornographic nonsense in the damn chat. I'm in the wrong chat room. In the wrong chat room. Go ahead. In the wrong chat room for that nonsense. I mean, this ain't no babe station in the wrong damn place. Go put that on babe station or
It
something.
was in GLCC.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered.
Yeah, that's it. That goes into something else. Give me Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. Also, any questions, just type them in and we'll get to them.
We say Ephesians 5 and 22.
Yeah, can't Ephesians 5 and 22.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, man. Meaning, obey your husband, man.
That's right.
Respect him. Now, does this mean the wife should obey the husband and the husband should treat her like garbage? No, man. You also have to love your wife also. You also have to look after her, man. Treat her good. Obviously, there's going to be ups and downs where you have arguments and all of those kind of things. But we ain't in here. We ain't like the Muslims where they just believe a woman's a doormat. They believe a woman's a doormat and you just walk all over her. Nah, man. In here, you have to love your wives, man. And it's better when you love each other because you agree in one. You walk together. You walk together. Like she's not just some doormat that you walk all over. Oh, I'm the head, so she can't tell me nothing. Let me walk all over her. She's just a woman. Shut your mouth for your doormat. Nah, it don't work like that. This is your wife, man. Understand this. This is your wife who is also your sister. Like you wouldn't want someone to treat your daughter like that. So, as a man, you shouldn't treat somebody else's daughter like that. Because we all brothers and sisters. So we ain't here to abuse each other. We're here to love the hell out of each other, man. And get along. That's what we're here to do. Instead of abusing each other. Maybe if we treated each other better, we'll get a lot further, man. Maybe if more men was in the house and less men was on child support and less men was beating their woman, maybe our lives would be a lot better, man. Maybe we could grow up with our children would know who we are. But because of the relationships that we have and because of, the frustration from the slavery and all of those things, we then come home, take it out on each other. Money's tight, that puts a strain on our relationship. We're at the bottom of society. Instagram's teaching us something different. Instagram and the internet's telling us to do something different. And all of these things combined together, we come home and we argue and we fight and we fight and we argue, not realizing we're supposed to be there for each other. We ain't supposed to argue and fight and try and kill each other. We're supposed to come home and speak about our hard day under slavery and confide in one another. But instead, we come home and fight each other. Whereas this world, imagine this, your boss is the one oppressing you at work, and then you come home and fight with your wife. Imagine your boss is oppressing you at work, and you come home and fight with your husband. It makes no sense, man. We're both in the same boat. We're both doing the job we don't want to do. Both overpaid both overworked and underpaid. And then we take it out on each other, when really, the fault ain't with each other. The fault is what? We should love one another and be like, all right, then, we a team, with this, with that. That's what we're supposed to do. But obviously, we don't do that. We just fight one another. We go to war with one another. Meanwhile, all your problems ain't me, and all my problems ain't you. But we then take them out on each other. And this is why most of our relationships don't last, because we take out our problems on each other. And it's not even, your problems ain't my fault, and my problems ain't your fault. But we don't know how to separate the two. So I need to take my problems out on someone. You need to take yours out on someone. And then me and you are just in the house. And what do? Argue and fight and throw things at each other and fight some more and swear at each other and call each other names. And then you start shouting F you. I start shouting F you back. You tell me you're taking the kids away. And then listen, man, our homes is a mess right now. And in the UPK, we fix these homes, man. And that's what council's for, man. But read on.
For the husband is the head of the wife.
For the what?
For the husband is the head of the wife.
And this man is the head of the wife, man. Meaning he's the head. So, as a wife, you should confide in your husband and go to your husband, man. You shouldn't be trying to attack him. This man is there for you, man. Go ahead.
Even as Christ is the head of the church.
And the same, this man is the head of the wife. Like how Christ is the head of the school, you see how Christ is in charge. This man is over his wife, man. You see how Christ was the head of the school? This man is the head of the wife, and it's making that analogy. You see how Christ took care of his disciples and so forth, made sure they were straight, gave them comfort and all of them things. Obviously, the wife's the weaker vessel, man. Sometimes you're gonna have to give her all of these things. Sometimes she's gonna be crying over nothing, and you have to say to her, "Look, what you're crying over ain't real life. That's not real life, but this is real life. This is what we're gonna do. A, B, C, D. You can't like Tyrese crying on the internet, man. Imagine which woman is gonna respect you if you like Tyrese crying on the internet. These women, these women, they're looking at you like, hold on, this man's meant to be the strong one, and you're behaving like the weaker vessel. Don't behave like the weaker vessel, man, because she's not gonna respect you, man. But what they like to give you is that nonsense. When the right man comes, I'll submit. If that's the case, you're meant to sit down with your legs closed until the right man comes, man.
Right.
Don't be opening your legs to all these different men and then saying, "Oh, well, I'll have sex with you, but I won't submit to you." That's backwards. You're just being a whore. I'll have sex with you, but I won't submit to you. Listen, man. If you ain't willing to submit to no man, you don't open your legs, man. That's it. If you ain't willing to submit, you don't open your legs. You just keep your legs closed. You think what? You're going to be having sex with 5 different men and I'm waiting for the right one. Imagine when the right one comes. What if the right one says, "No, I can't have you because you've done slept with 5 different men. I know 4 of them." Listen, man. Just keep your legs closed if that's the case and you wait for the right man. Don't open your legs to everyone. If you know this man ain't the right man, why are you opening your legs to him? That's backwards and makes no sense. Read on.
And he is the savior of the body.
And listen, man. Christ is the savior of the body, and the husband is the savior of the body, which is what? The wife, the children, the family, meaning without no head. Imagine a body with no head. It can't survive, man. The head is in charge. And if you've got no head, you can't listen. If you've got no head, you're going the wrong way in life, man. Read that. Go up a verse and read that down again, so you can give it some context.
Verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
So now it's going to give that analogy that the man is the head of the woman, how Christ is the head of the church. Go ahead.
As unto the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife.
For the husband is the head of the wife. Go ahead.
Even as Christ is the head of the church.
Even as Christ is the head of the church. Go ahead.
And he is the savior of the body.
And he's the savior of the body. Go ahead. So now, and what did Christ do for this body? He saved it, and this husband is the savior of you, man. You better respect your husband, man.
That's right.
You better respect your husband. Why? Because this man is going to save the household, man. This man is going to save the household. This man is going to save the family. But without this man there, the family's listen. Your whole life's going to be upside down. He's the savior of the body. Go ahead.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ. Go ahead.
So let the wives be. So let the wives be to their own husbands.
And it says, so let the wives be to their own husbands.
In everything.
In everything, because this man is the savior of you, man.
That's right.
This man is going to save that family, man. This man is going to save your life, man. Listen, if there's danger in the house, someone breaks into the house, that man's supposed to go downstairs first, man. He ain't supposed to send you. Listen, man. That man is supposed to kill whoever's trying to break in. Well, not why. If he doesn't need to, he won't. But what I'm saying is, that man is supposed to. If someone breaks in, they better kill him before they kill you, man. That's how much this man loves you, that he's willing to die first. He's willing to die trying to save you before they get to you, man. The only way you die that day is if they kill him. But no man should be hiding behind the bed while his woman's fighting off attackers, man. I mean, some women get with these weak men, and then you wonder why these things happen. You get with these weak men, and then you wonder why next men are trying to chat you up in front of them, man. Listen, man. In the UPK, that could never happen. No man ain't never going to be trying to chat up our woman in front of us, man.
That's right.
He's going to see us and he's going to know. Don't even try that, man.
Right.
Imagine that, Potters are. You're with your woman. A man calls your woman and she goes over and you're just waiting on the side of the road for her to come. Imagine that. Listen, man. Just imagine that. And these things happen. And no next man should be trying to speak to no next man's woman, man.
Right.
But in the world, that's what they do. That's what they do, man. I've seen it on videos where a man's woman walks over to another man And this man's just waiting on the side for her. Listen, man. If my woman ever done that, listen, she wouldn't be coming home with me. That's no woman of mine. That's no woman of mine. That's his woman, man. Exactly. That's disrespectful. That is, man. Imagine that should. Imagine that should. Hold on. How do I just block the? No, it don't want to let me block them. Block user. I don't know who the hell that is. Trust me, it's one of them. Hold on. Put user in timeout. Oh, you can put people in timeout. Okay, most of Christ. But go ahead.
Yeah, so not clear. For the husband is the head of the wife.
For the husband is the head of the wife, man. Go ahead.
As Christ is the head of the church.
Go ahead.
And he's the savior of the body.
And he's the savior of the body, man. And this man is going to be the savior of the body. He's going to keep the family together, man. He's going to make sure the family is doing the right things. He's going to make sure his daughter dresses in the right apparel. He's going to make sure his son ain't joining no gangs and his son ain't being groomed to go sell drugs in wherever people sell drugs, county line drugs. He's going to make sure his son ain't doing those things. Go ahead.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church.
Do what?
Love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church.
And you see how Christ loved the brothers and sisters that was in this that followed him, that followed him. How he laid down his life for them, how he checked them when there was wrong, how he corrected them, how he gave them hope and comfort and taught them. We must love our wives that same way.
Right.
So sometimes you're gonna have to check your wife. The same way Christ loved the church is how you're supposed to love your wife, man. Willing to lay down your life for her and all of those kind of things. Go ahead.
And gave himself for it.
And did what?
Gave himself for it.
And gave himself for it, man. So it's one of them ones, man. Go ahead.
That it might sanctify and cleanse it.
That it might what?
Sanctify and cleanse it.
That it might sanctify and cleanse it. Go ahead.
With the washing of the water by the word.
With the washing of the water by the word, man. And that's how you clean things up, man. By following this word. This word cleanses you like water, man. This word cleans you up. Why? Because before you was filthy. And this word cleans you, man. This word cleans you up. Drop that. Give me Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. Where's the niggas that said they're gonna come battle us? They're gonna pull up secretly. What they say? They're gonna pull up in secret. That's what I'm saying. He's gonna pull up in secret. The nigga said he's gonna battle us and pull up in secret. Why pull up in secret? Just let us know when you come in. Pull up in secret. Pull up in secret to get crushed in the open. Do how niggas can do it however they want. Pull up in secret. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 1.
Verse 12.
Verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors.
As for my people, children are their oppressors. Now, people read this and think this is talking about your children. It's not, because your children don't oppress you. The children being your oppressors is talking about the white man.
Right.
That's who he is. He's a child. Why? Because he's childish. If he don't get his own way, what does he do? Goes and shoots up a school. Goes and cries. If he loses his job, he hangs himself. They're very childlike. So that's what it says. Children are my oppressors, meaning people who make childish decisions, who run this world childishly. This man digs into the ozone layer and all of those things. This man destroys everything, man. This man destroys the whole earth. And that's why it's childish. He destroys the whole earth and says, oh, well, the earth is being destroyed, but oh, well, I won't be here for it to affect me. So this man is very childish. That's what it says. Children are the oppressors, because it's talking about the Europeans, man, the white men. They're the children of this world. You would think, you know what? This man, with all his so-called internet and his or everything he's got, you'd think he's wise and knowledgeable, but this man is actually a child. This man commits suicide when he loses a job. This man kills his wife and the family dog when they have an argument. This man loads his rifle and goes and shoots up a school and kills random people. Oh, because he was bullied when he was younger, so he goes and kills innocent people. Makes no sense. The children, go ahead.
And women rule over them.
And what?
And women rule over them.
And women rule over them, man. And black men, women rule over them, man.
That's right.
Imagine you want to see your children and you have to ask this woman. You want to take your children on a holiday, you have to ask this woman. You have no say, man. Women rule over them. And that's why Tyrese was crying on that video, man. Because women rule over him. He said he wants to see his daughter and he's not allowed to see his daughter. Go ahead.
O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err.
And they that lead thee cause thee to err, meaning they that lead thee cause thee to go astray. And we've gone astray because of the people that rule over us, because of the people that lead us. They cause us to err, and we've gone astray. Go ahead.
And destroy the way of thy paths.
And they destroy our ways, man. At first, we all plan, you know what? We're going to do this. And then the people that rule over us, they just take that thought out of our mind. They lead us astray, man. The internet leads our women astray. Cardi B leads our women astray.
That's right.
All these celebrities lead our women astray.
Right.
Imagine this. Cardi B has your women twerking and all of these things on the internet. But when it comes to their children, they don't let their children see that on the internet. All these rappers rap about don't go to college, go and sell dope, do this, but then they send their kids to college. Listen, man, these celebrities that we like to follow so much, they ain't the spokesman for black people. All they do is make good music. That's all they do is make good music. Let me get one more before we close out. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see what the last one is that I want. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 56. And we need to get back to how we was in ancient times, man.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which not adventure to set her soul. So lucky I set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness.
Once upon a time, sisters was delicate, man, before the internet, before Cardi B, before all these women teaching them, go sleep with who you want. Listen, man, once upon a time, our women was delicate. Now these women is like Laurie Harvey. They say, nah, I'm not ready for commitment.
Right.
Once upon a time, they was soft and delicate and wanted that one man. Now they tell you, no, I'm not ready for commitment. Listen, man. Listen, read on. Why, so I don't know what to say.
Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom.
Her what?
Her eyes shall be evil toward toward the husband of her bosom.
Her eyes shall be evil. So now, the man that she's lying down with, her eyes is not evil towards him. She can't stand him. She's thinking child support. She's thinking, I hate this man. I'm going to go sleep with the next man to get back at him. I'm going to go give up what I've got in between my legs to a next man to get back with him. And some men are scared to argue with their woman. Why? Because they know if they argue with her, she's going to have sex with the next man. If that's the case, man, you know this woman's a hoe and there's nothing you can do to stop her from being a hoe, man.
That's right.
You thinking not arguing with her is going to stop her from opening her legs. She's going to open them anyway, man. If you've got a woman that you're scared to lose and she's going to open her legs to her next man, as soon as she opens her legs to her next man, listen, you're off the hook. She's going to do it eventually anyway, man. Don't sit down and cry about it and think, oh, I'm not going to argue with her because if I argue with her, she's going to have sex with her next man. Basically, you're saying this woman's a hoe. Basically, you're saying I know this woman's a hoe. And how do you know if you've got a hoe? If every man she mentions, you have to, in your mind, think, have you had sex with him? Every man she walks past, you have to think, has she had sex with him? That's it, you know. This woman on your side is possibly a hoe.
Right.
And nowadays, it's not hard to tell, man. You're with this woman, the phone's pinging off non-stop. Who's messaging her all this time of night, man?
That's right.
Imagine this, you there, the phone ping, ping, ringing. She's not answering it. Listen, man. When you phone her and she's not answering it, it's because there's another man there as well, man. Tonight is your turn.
Right.
Next week is somebody else's turn, man.
That's
A woman like that is what you don't want. Once upon a time, our sisters were soft and tender, man, and loving, and they were shy, and they didn't talk about sex so freely on the internet. Read on.
And toward her son and toward her daughter.
And now they're even towards their son and their daughter. They get rid of them. They put them in care homes. They abuse them. Just recently, I've seen articles where they've killed babies, where not babies like toddlers, where they've starved them to death. The child's had like 100 injuries, all of those kind of things. These kind of women that you don't want, man.
That's right.
You don't want a woman like that. You want a soft, delicate sister. You want a soft, tender sister, like the ones we have in the school, man, who would never do them things, who nurture and love their children. Go ahead.
And toward a young one that cometh out from between her feet.
And towards the young ones that cometh out from between her feet, man. Listen, you don't want these rough women, man.
Right.
Some of the ones that we see over the roads, luck, yeah. What are them the ones you don't want? Them the ones you don't want. It's luck, yeah. You got one of the soft, delicate ones in the school. Not them rough ones that you see outside. Not them tough ones. There you go, winding up themselves in the street. Smoking the spliff. That's the ones you don't want, man. I mean, if you're getting them kind of women pregnant and then you're crying after, listen, the signs was there. Those is women that you walk straight past, man.
Right.
Don't give them the time of day. The signs are all there, man.
Right.
Anyway, clap it up. That brings us to the end of the class. And then security announcements and we're out of here.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21. Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 to 10 means 10th in Hebrew, Masha'ara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Hold on, let me check the board. I know we got one in September. Give me 1 second. What's the date today? What is all? The next one is Sunday, the 25th of September, the memorial of blowing the trumpets.
The memorial blowing of the trumpets on
Sunday, 25th of September.
Sunday, 25th of September. All Akim and Akkoff to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. To that, we'll say Amajim Shabbat, Amajim Barak, Yahweh Bashim Ya Shabrakatha,
Yahweh Hashem Ya Shabrakafam.
Ya Jematar. Class dismissed.
Shalom, Israel.